seeing that struggle in action, maybe we would better appreciate the magnitude of the conflict that gave us Memorial Day in the first place. More than 500,000 people were killed. That staggering toll of American lives lost has never been equaled, not even during all of World War II. But Thomas Edison wouldn't develop motion pictures for 30 years. So we invented this old movie with a little help from some of those who still think the Civil War is to die for, over and over again. From Bull Run to Gettysburg, from Mississippi to California, when the spirit moves them, and all it takes is the imminent anniversary of a battle, ordinary folks turn into weekend warriors, rekindling the campfires, reliving the bloodiest days in American history.
Man has always been interested in time trips. Being a time traveler, how close can you come? If you can't see anything modern, you can't hear anything modern.
What about that farm on the other side of the hill over there? I saw some nice chickens that get some eggs or something.
Okay, right in here will be the platoon break. First platoon, second platoon.
You do a lot of research on a certain person. You've read his memoirs, you've read his letters to his family, because when you go out and you try to act as this person did, and it gives you a lot of insight of why things were done certain ways, because of the mores of the time, the economics of the times, and things of that sort.
No one's sure exactly when it began, reenacting our most wrenching national experience for the fun of it, but the idea really caught fire with the 100th anniversaries of the great Civil War battles, and it's become even more popular in the years since. There's no single umbrella organization for reenacting, so nobody really knows how many people participate. But the best guess is 40 to 50,000 men, women, and children are playing in the past. Some reenactors adopt their antique persona right down to the 19th century underwear. Others come to camp with a six-pack and a cell phone.
There's one thing about living history. There are those who are professional, there are those who are amateurs, there are those who are farbs. Farb is a kind of expression we use for those who don't care about all the history. All they do is to come out to hoopla it up. The amateurs, you can't look down at the amateur. The amateur reenactor, I mean, look at the money. All this stuff is privately owned. People put lots of money into these things.
From canteen to cartridge case, a reproduction outfit can easily set you back $1,000, including a nice replica rifle that might come from the Dixie Gun Works but bear the stamp made in Japan. For the serious reenactor, there are detailed handbooks and even the rather incongruous how-to video.
Usually I'll have button flies, about 4 to 5 buttons, and a very thin waistband that goes around the end.
But incongruity and living history events go hand in hand. After all, the audience is shooting back with camcorders, and lots of the people here found out about it on the internet. Dozens of websites are devoted to the wheres, whens, and hows of conducting these remarkably realistic battle reenactments. Well, realistic to a point. This hobby may be to die for, but let's not get carried away.
It's tough to get them to take casualties in the first 20 to 30 minutes of the battle. Nobody wants to go to the time and trouble and expense that they've gone to come to the event to take a hit the first 2 or 3 minutes of the battle and then have to lay there on the ground for an hour, and miss the rest of the battle. So that's really the toughest part of presenting an authentic recreation of what a Civil War battle would have looked like.
But veteran reenactor Ed Gentry says time and those heavy wool uniforms eventually take their toll.
Toward the end of the battle, when guys are getting very hot, they're getting tired, they may have run out of cartridges, you start getting a good percentage of casualties at that point in time. You get a representative sampling of what casualties would have looked like in a brigade that was being that was under heavy fire. All the things that you've read about, you experience in a living history event. And it's as close as you can ever come to really understanding what those men went through. That's why the people are here, to help preserve what we've got, to honor the memory of the men on both sides who fought in the war, and to educate people so that that memory and that heritage isn't lost.